winner of the Regional Emmy for Best Newscast. This is Today in Iowa.
At 5:30, we say good morning. I'm Allie Crutcher with you today. We are waking up to a winter storm warning here in eastern Iowa. Wind, freezing rain, snow. That'll soon be hitting the area. Tracking it all this morning from Track 7's Eileen Lone. Eileen, we were just mentioning in the last 5 to 10 minutes, a handful of schools are now closed for the day.
Right, they're starting to trickle in. Lots of senior centers starting to close as well, and things are going to get tricky across the area. Highway 20 at Iowa 27 in Cedar Falls doesn't look bad now, but that could deteriorate very quickly across the area as some rain, freezing rain, sleet tracking in. Mostly it's been sleet reports or some hail or some snow or some rain as some thunder showers are starting to track in. Lots of lightning with this, and essentially what that does with a winter storm, it increases the amounts of whatever happens to be falling. In this case, it's probably going to be sleet, but could see some freezing rain as well with temperatures right at or below the freezing mark from Monticello, Tama northward. Some areas a little bit colder than that with warmer temperatures farther south. Winds are strong, 10 to 20, 24 miles per hour. They'll gust even higher much of the day. Right now they're east, turning more to the northeast, all bringing in moisture and continuing to bring in that mix this morning. Everything changing over to snow by about midday and staying fairly heavy in the north. North will see the heaviest amounts of snow. Farther to the south, more of a mix cuts down the snowfall amounts, but still tricky travel pretty much all day long. This morning, more of a wintry mix. This afternoon, snow and blowing snow. All more details coming up in a few minutes.
And that's the big story this morning. Winter just doesn't want to go away. More snow is on the way. Parts of the state have already been dealing with the winter storm this morning. As snow has hit parts of the Sioux City area for a few hours now. That's where we're looking live. But they're expecting a couple of inches of snow there as well. Storm Track 7's Amanda Gilbert live in Cedar Falls with a closer look at conditions there. Good morning.
Good morning, Allie. Yeah, right now here in Cedar Falls, it's just really windy out, but that doesn't mean more disruptive weather is on the way. It means you've got to prepare for today. I know a lot of schools are actually starting to cancel. Cedar Falls School, we found out, has canceled school for today. So this weather just really impacting so many people. Now, this past weekend, it actually really impacted South Hardin High School in Eldora. They were supposed to have their destination prom here at the Hilton Garden Inn, but they had to postpone prom. It's something they've never done before. A beautiful setup at South Hardin High School. This is where students attending prom were supposed to walk through, take pictures, and get on a bus last Saturday night. But when we started seeing a lot of this, the high school made the decision to postpone prom. The school even posting to Facebook saying a makeup date is being worked on.
We have kind of a non-traditional prom in which we have destination proms, and we had students getting on buses. You can't bring kids back from an accident.
Some students, like Sybil Balo, a little disappointed hearing the news.
I'm not gonna lie, I cried a lot when we canceled, only because I was just so excited to do it.
The school's new date for prom, April 28th. The principal says postponing did not have a huge effect on cost.
We really didn't lose anything. We got our meals catered. We went ahead and saved those meals for a couple weeks down the road, and our all of our other costs were either waived or saved in some way.
Now Balo and her friend Claire working hard with their junior class to get ready for a new, hopefully warmer, prom day.
Yep, I heard that the weather is supposed to be 68 and sunny so far, because we know Iowa's a little bipolar and likes to change, but I'm hoping that it's nice because I'm taking a convertible, so I want it to be nice. I would rather have a prom later where I can be with everyone rather than a prom like losing people.
Well said, and I know right now the high school is just working on finding a new destination for that new prom date on April 28th. They say luckily the Hilton Garden Inn did not charge them for canceling this past weekend. Understanding that safety, of course, very important, but they do need to find a new location for that April 28th date. Also, a lot of the students are just crossing their fingers, hoping for a warm day, and I hope for a warm day, too, for them and for just all of us. Live in Cedar Falls, Amanda Gilbert, News 7 KWWL.
You and me both. Amanda, thank you so much. As the snow falls throughout eastern Iowa later today, certainly send us your photos and videos. We'd love to see those. You can post them right to our KWWL Facebook page. Continuing coverage now, a man is facing murder charges after a shooting in eastern Iowa. Waukon police arrested John Quanrude. He's now charged with second-degree murder. Police say he shot 60-year-old Dean Russell on Monday. Quanrude was the stepson of Russell, and the two were also roommates. Officers say Quanrude told them he fired a warning shot at Russell and then fired a second shot that hit him.
We got calls from our friends saying to watch out, there's an active shooting going on. We didn't really have any details of anything that was going on.
All we really seen was cops when we got back that shut off the block.
The suspect called 911 after the shooting, and the man who was shot was rushed to the hospital but later died. This morning, we're learning more about a man killed in a freak accident at a Dairy Queen drive-thru. Curtis Shantz died after his stalled truck rolled over him. He was under the hood trying to fix it when police say the truck moved forward over him. Shantz was from Alburnett and worked for the fire department there for 33 years.
He was an asset to the department, to the community, with his background in electrician, and he's just a great guy and very active, very involved with the community, with the church, the family.
His son placed an ice cream sundae at the Dairy Queen in memory of his father. Another sad story this morning. Someone dies on a plane after its engine failed. That plane had to make an emergency landing in Philadelphia. The NTSB says multiple alarms went off about 20 minutes after that plane left a New York airport. The engine later caught fire. Passengers say a piece of the engine flew into a window, shattering it. A woman was partly sucked out of that window. Other passengers pulled her back in, did CPR, but she later died.
We started losing altitude. The mask came down. People were putting on their masks, and basically I think all of us thought this might be it. You know, we just didn't know.
7 passengers had to be treated for minor injuries. Former First Lady Barbara Bush has died. She died at her home yesterday. On Sunday, the family said they wouldn't seek further medical treatment after being in the hospital several times. Barbara Bush was married for 73 years to former President George H.W. Bush. She was 92. And the news of her death is hitting hard for many people. A children's hospital was even named after her. Danielle Waugh introduces us to a little girl who had a special connection to the former First Lady.
I think without the hospital, I wouldn't have been given life.
7-year-old Avery Garrison was born with a rare genetic disease requiring 9 surgeries before the age of 3. The Barbara Bush Children's Hospital became a second home.
And then you see her like she is today. That's because of the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital.
A lot of sick kids are there. When Barbara was there, it felt like they were home.
Like many patients, Avery got to meet the former First Lady and listen to her read a book. But not every kid can say they had this interaction.
She said, "You're a very pretty girl, do you know that?"
Cameras captured the moment the 3-year-old admired Mrs. Bush's jewelry. She then slipped off this bracelet and let Avery keep it.
Yeah, I have it on right now.
A keepsake she'll always cherish to remember a woman who gave so much.
Mrs. Bush is more of a hero or heroine because of everything she's done for children. The fact that she's the First Lady just makes it even more amazing.
More than 100,000 patients receive care at the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital every year. Our time now is 5:38. Starbucks will be closing all of their stores for one day next month. The focus, educating their employees on racial bias. This comes after 2 men got arrested last week while waiting for a friend in Philadelphia. The training will be geared toward preventing discrimination in their stores.
We have a situation, and the people at the center of this have come together with civility, common purpose, and a willingness to listen to one another and work towards a solution.
Nearly 175,000 employees across the country will be getting that training. Neighbors debate a possible wind farm in Black Hawk County. RPM Access is asking to put up 35 turbines south of Waterloo and east of Hudson. The total project would take up about 22 acres of current farmland. Many industry organizations, including electricians, contractors as well, they support the project.
This is the greenest of green power being generated right here near our community. We have to remember, by having generation so close in our community, it brings stability by not having to rely on a power plant hundreds of miles away. It is the foundation for more economic development to come.
But many who live in the area are concerned the project will have a negative effect on their health and property values because of some things like shadow flicker, and that's the moving shadow of the blades.
The house that I own will be subject to shadow flicker 178 days of the year. Now, I know that's a maximum, but it's a hard pill to swallow. Can you imagine getting up in your house and it just flickering and flickering and flickering? I can't imagine living with that.
Last night, the Blackhawk County Planning and Zoning Commission voted on a special permit for the project. It'll now go before the Blackhawk County Board of Adjustments. If approved, the wind farm could be up and running by early 2020. For many of us, taking out the trash, that's a chore, right? But for one Iowa 3-year-old, trash day is Christmas, birthdays, and Halloween all rolled up into one. This little guy waits outside as the garbage truck heads toward his neighborhood in Clive.
I would say we've had 3 or 4 different regular drivers.
Can I climb in your seat?
And every one of them friendlier than the next.
Can you sit in my seat?
Yeah.
I mean, they get out, they high five, they stop, they're never in a hurry. Thumbs up.
Always out here with a smile on his face.
He is a cutie. His parents don't know how long he'll continue to love Garbage Day, but they say they'll enjoy it no matter how long it lasts. Our time now is 5:40. Coming your way this morning, taxpayers getting an extra day to get their 2017 taxes filed and paid. Plus, an Iowa diocese is working to become more energy efficient, and it's got the Pope's approval.
This is Today in Iowa with Allie Crutcher and Storm and Track 7 meteorologist Eileen Lone. We've got you covered.
Closed captioning on KWWL is brought to you by Unity Point Health.